Hello, 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 beautiful people. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Many of you are from the Midwest. Happy Pierogi Week for those of you who are. You've seen the title of this post, this live. It's How Your Past is Preventing Your Future. And a lot of you guys tuned in last week. Sorry about the camera focusing. A lot of you guys tuned in last week. Hey, Jordan, to the 5-day velocity challenge, and I was inviting you to let go of 5 habits that are holding you back. And we had some participants who actually went through the 5-day velocity challenge and really grew from it. We actually had a business get started out of it, a whole new initiative. Hey, Lisa, thanks for saying hey. Maybe I'll see you at the Pierogi Fest this weekend. Hi, Jane and Phil. You guys, thanks for being here. The 5-day velocity challenge was to have you see how you are holding yourself back and how your past is holding you back, or your fears or your insecurities. And so many of those fears and insecurities are stemmed or rooted in the past. A past letdown, a past disappointment, a past failure, perceived failure. Hey, Kim and Dana and Rachel and Michelle, thanks for being here. And so what we may see that our past holds us back, but what we don't necessarily realize is the way that we're being now is because we're actually projecting our past into our future, right? We don't want to take that risk because we know what happened back there, so why would we do that again, right? We don't know we think we know what's gonna happen, and we don't want to be right, but we do want to be right. Like, we want to be able to try to predict and stay safe and stay comfortable. And so we say, I learned that when I speak up, everybody laughs at me. Or I learned that if I tell somebody I love them, they might not say it back, and I know how that feels and hurts, right? So we collect a lot of evidence from our past, and then we project it into our future. And then the way that we're being right now is based on the future that we're living into, that we see hopelessness, despair, letdown, disappointment, not being treated well, being misunderstood, feeling rejected. Like, anything that you harbor from your past that you're incomplete with, you are carrying around. I did that emotional baggage live last week. It was one of my favorites. I forget what day it was. Holding on, Tuesday. So day 2, I did this whole baggage exercise about how the baggage from our past holds us back and how we hold ourselves back because of it. Well, it's really important to understand this because it prevents you from taking fun, exciting risks that are enlivening and fulfilling. And it feels risky because we relate to the future as the unknown, and it can seem threatening, but it's not threatening. I love to explain. Walking into a dark room can seem scary because you don't know what's there. It can seem threatening because you don't know what's there. But if you flip the light switch on the room and it's a surprise party of all your best friends and family, and like a dark room, the unknown is not that scary. We deem it scary. We deem the unknown or the unpredictable as threatening or risky, and it doesn't have to be. Hello, Juliana and Danielle, Meredith, hey, and hey, Jamie and John, you guys, thanks for being here. John times 2. Hi, Kim. So we are deeming the future as scary, and then we live scared because of it. You are being now the way that you're being about your future. So if you're scared about your future, you're scared now. If you're anxious about your future, you're anxious now. If you're sad about your future, you're sad now. Because that's what you know you're walking towards. But if you're hopeful about your future, you're hopeful now. It can still seem scary, but you want to operate on the hope and on the faith. And sometimes you have to have blind faith to really walk and know that what you're creating can come to fruition, because you've created everything in your life. You are a creator. And so if you stay right that it's difficult, you're going to find difficulty. If you stay right that it's hard, it's going to occur as hard. And I invite you to prove yourself wrong by going and trying something new. And I want to share this from an example from this week, because I projected my past into my future and I found what I was looking for, right? So I want to share with you guys, because it knocked me down a peg for a second. I started a fundraiser for my birthday in February to go to Costa Rica to learn Spanish, to then translate Giving Up the Memoir of a Quitter into Spanish and record a Spanish audiobook. So this is a project that I'm really freaking excited about, and I started a fundraiser for it to make it a true birthday present, a true fun exchange. And for anybody who is excited to contribute, is allowed to contribute. Anybody who's been impacted and tunes into the podcast and reads the book and pays attention in Growing Gratitude and feels really contributed to, can also feel like they can contribute back if they so choose. Well, my fear came from my past of there's judgments about that the only reason someone fundraises if there's tragedy and illness, and that's what we give money to, right? And I had that structure set up in my head, and I had that, it's an old belief system that I had to be willing to release and give up in order to create this new and exciting and enlivening opportunity, and to practice asking for money, to practice raising my rates, to practice running a business. It's growth. It's growth that I choose. But what I also drug with me is my baggage, my old belief system, and I projected into the future, and I got that. I got this text from somebody, and it was nasty, and it had a lot of judgments in it, and it didn't feel good, and it surfaced all the fears that I had previously suppressed. And it's the fears that asking for donations triggers. Like, it triggers within me whether someone actually gives me that feedback or not. I have that feeling anyways, like, what are they gonna think? What are they gonna do? Now, this is just a donation. This is just an exercise. This is one way to practice this one breakthrough. But we do this with relationship. I do this with my business as a whole. What are they going to think when I publish this book? What are they going to think when I say this on the podcast? What is he going to think on this date that I'm about to go on? And so and you may think that when you apply for a job, or you start a new friendship, or whatever it may be, you start practicing a new skill. And so it's so important to see that we take all of our past and we project it into the future, and then we will find it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so it's up to you to consciously choose a new story. You get to rewrite that story. You get to reframe your relationship to yourself, your relationship to your past and your people and your communities and the energy that you put out and receive. It's up to you to reframe that. It is up to you to rewrite your story, and you can. But you have to know that just because, and David Fagan is actually the one who taught me this. He says it on our podcast episode, is that the people of your past are going to relate to the past version of you until you retrain people how to treat you and teach you and see you and relate to you, right? So that's your job. That's on you to reframe yourself and your attitude about life and what you're going for and what you're creating. And you have to stand firm in that, because your past is going to show up and remind you, hey, boo-boo, we know where you came from. We remember who you were. We remember what you did. We remember how you acted. But you're allowed to change and evolve. You are allowed to grow, and you're allowed to do that consciously, openly, vulnerably, and authentically. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm always going to show up real. There's no need to sugarcoat shit, but I'm going to tell you how I have framed it. I'm going to tell you how I'm relating to what I'm doing, because you best believe that nasty text, it kicked me right in the gut, and it burned. It hurt. I did not like that feeling, and it caused me to doubt myself. It caused me to think, well, what does everyone else think? How many people really feel that way? How many people feel that way and aren't saying so, right? And so took me I'm here, it's 2 days later, and I'm sharing openly with you that it hurt and it stung, and I had to talk myself back into reframing. Yes, girl, that speak, because when we feel that tension in our throats because we're not speaking our truth, we're holding back on something we want to do, say, see, be. Oh my God, thank you, Michaela. And you guys, I see y'all coming on here. David and Karen, thanks for being here. Jenna, Wade, Amanda, Tracy, Carly, Lupe, y'all, Wendy, Erica. It's so good to see you guys on here. Hey, Juliana. And you guys, it's intense. And so was that feedback, and so was my response and my reaction, because it surfaced everything that I fear. And then I had to get back in my power about what I'm doing to show up and be able to ask for your donation again, ask for support again, and not feel like a wounded animal or like an abused child. Like, can I still have a donation? Like, hey guys, I know, there's no reason to be that way. It's up to you to restore your power instead of showing up wounded or hurt. And so I had to process my feelings about this nasty text, and I shared it because, again, I am open, and I am an open book. Like, I do work on my own, and I don't have to share every single thing, but I'm going to definitely share breakthroughs that I believe will empower you, or that I believe people are hiding out about, because that's what I'm committed to, is empowering people who are suffering in silence and feel isolated and alone. I'm not about that. I tried to do that with my athlete mentality. I tried to be tough and figure shit out on my own, and it broke me. It broke me so far down, and I realized I wasn't having the life I wanted because I was too proud to ask for support. And so this has been my biggest, longest, whatever breakthrough you want to call it, is to learn how to receive. Honestly, to just learn how to receive and ask and trust and keep showing up and keep asking and keep putting myself out there. And I want to keep inspiring you to do the same. I love living my breakthroughs out loud, or just living my work out loud, because there's something to be gained from it, because we all have so many of the same patterns. We have so many of the same patterns, and no matter what our past looks like, no matter who has a bigger struggle story, no one's struggle story wins the struggle game, because that's not a game anybody wants to win. Not really, not when you get present to it. You want to be winning in life. You want to win your vision. You want to win your goal. You want to win your relationship. You don't want to win at being right, that life is tough and it sucks and people suck and you pay bills and you die. That's not what this is. And if you want to be right about it, you're right. You win. Congrats. What's that get you? And so you got to be willing to give some of that stuff up, and you got to leave your past where it's at and know that it's your past, and pull the gems out of it. Pull your life out of it. Pull your passion out of who you are, not out of your past. You're different at this age and stage. You are new right now. Do you know you right now? Or do you only know the filters of your past and the fear or things of your future? Who are you in this moment? That's what there is to discover. And it's so new that you have to build strength in it. You have to build new power in your new identities, because you're not your past anymore. Your past isn't happening anymore. You're new every moment, and you get to choose every moment. And so I decided to clear the energy from negative feedback or from fear of judgment. I've cleared that energy to show back up authentic and excited to offer this fundraiser and this donation, and to bring a lot of joy around it, and to really explain that this is a project. This is a project that the people of this company, the people of this community get to contribute to as well. I'll never forget, it stuck with me one time. It was like 2 years ago, and someone reached out to me and says, "Do you have somewhere I can donate to you? I read every word you write. You have made such a difference in my life, and only by tuning in to Growing Gratitude. Can I I don't want to hire you. I don't want to do coaching, but how can you get paid for what you do?" And I was like, "Oh, thanks. No, thanks." And I really pulled on that memory when I was creating this fundraiser, saying there are people, and there have been, we've raised $384 in 5 days. There are people who want to contribute, and I have to remember that. I have to remember that, and I want to encourage you that if you have felt contributed to, I encourage you to contribute. And I also have generated a really exciting way that I want to offer this week specifically, is that if you donate to the program, if you donate to the fundraiser, I do want to offer a service back. So I have a clarity call that's $200 if you go on my website and you purchase it. But for this week, if you donate $100 to the fundraiser, to the Spanish sabbatical is what I've been calling it, my birthday Spanish sabbatical. And this is truly a fundraiser. I have made it exactly this structure because I want it to be a celebration. I want it to be a birthday gift. I want it to experience it that way. And I still want to move the company forward. I want to justify that it's not a vacation, but you're allowed to believe that if you want. You're more than welcome. That's not for me to decide. But I do want to offer you that if you've loved what you've gotten out of the content, the podcast, Growing Gratitude, any of that stuff, and you feel really excited and inspired to donate, then great, thank you, go do that. And if you want to donate $100, I'm offering you a $200 phone call and 60-minute clarity call for you to generate more clarity and freedom and power and self-expression and completion from your past. This call is amazing. I do it with so many different people, and I love this call, and it usually opens up worlds of possibility for people. So I want to open that to you. Maria Sahagan, I think it's happy belated birthday for you. I just want to say, so I could be wrong, but it's either today or yesterday. Hi, Steve and Diana, Louise, thanks for being here. Hi, Tom. And so, you guys, I'm going to begin to wrap this up, but your past can, and maybe is, keeping you where you are. It may be blocking you going into your future in such an excited way, and I just want to share with you that there's something else available, like joy, inspiration, possibility, passion, commitment are all possible when you come from who you are right now and what you truly want. And so I just love sharing that. I love sharing the opportunity to participate in what we're doing with Hearts Unleashed. And so if you really do want to participate and donate, or you want to get a call out of it, maybe you've been wanting this clarity call. Maybe you've been on my website and you've seen the clarity call and you're like, $200 for a 60-minute phone call. What are you doing, Abby? Like, that's, first off, way more than $200 worth of value in that phone call and a lifetime's worth of impact, because it can literally shift the whole direction and trajectory of your life. Just saying. But if you haven't been able to really reconcile spending $200 on a phone call, but if you want to make a donation of $100 and get a $200 phone call, I am offering that from now through Friday. So I want to celebrate. I want to continue to fundraise from love and joy and authenticity, not from shame or guilt or, feeling reprimanded or resentful or resigned. Like, that is not the energy that I want to do that from. And I also want to inspire you to take risks for yourself. Ask for the support that you need. It may not be financial. And that's what I said on Thursday's episode live of refusing help. Is we refuse help because we're too proud, or we think we're alone, or we're not supported. You can ask for the support you need, and I want to display that. That's how I always coach and share, is from displaying what it is that I'm doing. I love it. I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep encouraging you that you can have the life you love when you're willing to chase it and create it and live out loud. So this is me living out loud. This is me being authentic. That negative feedback, it took some wind out of my sails, and then I spent some time getting back into my power, getting some coaching, getting some support, so that I can continue to show up for us, for Hearts Unleashed, for the impact, for the message and the mission. And I invite you to continue to consider who you are and what you want and what support will get you where you're going. I love you so much.